ever get that feeling? Like reality kind of glitched for a second. That weird moment where you think, what if this is all like a simulation?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But not just me, right?
Yeah.
This idea has been freaking people out for centuries.
Definitely. It's a classic question. But it feels different now, like we're past the Descartes stage, and now guys like, what is it, Nick Bostrom? Even Elon Musk are taking the simulation theory seriously.
Totally. It's not just sci-fi anymore, right? And that's what's so cool about this deep dive we're doing today. We found this article, and it dives right into the simulation hypothesis. But instead of getting all philosophical, head in the clouds, it uses examples we can actually wrap our heads around, like think video games or how much processing power computers have, stuff like that.
Right. It makes it way more accessible. I mean, these are huge abstract ideas, but when you can connect them back to something familiar, like, oh, my game lags sometimes, that's kind of like the limits of reality. And suddenly it clicks.
Totally. Okay, so first thing this article tackles is this. What if the speed of light is basically proof we're in a simulation?
Okay, yeah, this is where it gets good. So the author, they're making this comparison between our universe and a computer simulation. Think about it. Just like your computer has a limit on how much it can process at once, right? That's why simulations, games, they have a speed limit, like a frame rate. What if the speed of light is kind of like our universe's frame rate?
Whoa, you're saying it's like when your game lags and the whole world stutters.
Exactly, like a hard limit built into the system. And the article takes it even further.
Oh, how so?
Okay, imagine some massive world, right? Super complex, but it's running on like a 64-bit processor. And we are inside that world. What seems gigantic to us, all those distances between stars, might just be different values on a hard drive somewhere. Our sense of scale, of how big or small things are, of time, all of it is limited by the system itself.
So like instead of the actual vastness of space, it's just, I don't know, ones and zeros on some cosmic hard drive.
Yeah, exactly. And if that's true, then the speed of light isn't some fundamental law of physics. It's just how fast the universe can render change,
That's a lot to process.
It really is, yeah.
But it makes you think, seriously, it really makes you question like everything we think we know about space and time and all that,
Yeah, absolutely.
But hold on, there's more. This article, it goes even deeper, like way down the rabbit hole. It starts talking about consciousness. Like, what if our consciousness is actually evidence of the simulation?
Okay, yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. See, a lot of people, they treat consciousness like it's this separate thing, right?
Right.
But this article, it argues that it's not separate at all. What if it's a fundamental part of the simulation itself?
Okay, hold up. I gotta ask. How does that even work? How can our consciousness be proof that we're living in a simulation?
It's like this. They use this term in the article, integrated subjective interface.
Integrated? What now?
Yeah, it sounds complicated, but it makes sense. Think of it like a video game, right? Like a Grand Theft Auto, something like that. You're looking through the character's eyes. Yeah, you're experiencing this whole world as them.
But we know there's a ton of stuff happening in the game's code that we don't see.
Right. Exactly. The game's giving you a specific experience, a limited one, through an interface. So what if our consciousness is that interface?
You mean like we're only experiencing a simplified version of reality?
Right. And it's been designed for us by, well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Whoa, okay. So instead of a controller, we've got like our senses, our brains feeding us this experience of being human. It's like, imagine putting on one of those VR headsets.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're on a roller coaster, you can see, hear, feel. But we're talking about a VR headset we never take off, basically.
I was just thinking about VR. It's crazy how easily our brains just accept these fake realities.
Yeah.
And if that's what consciousness is, the ultimate VR experience, then everything we think, feel, do, it could all be part of this massive simulated design. Okay,
so now my head is officially spinning. Right? This is getting kind of freaky, right?
Yeah, it makes you think.
If we're living in this simulation made by, I don't know, some higher power or whatever, what does that even mean for us? Like, do we even have free will? Does anything even matter?
It throws everything we think we know out the window, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But that's what I like about this article. It doesn't shy away from the big questions. It makes you think, hey, what if our lives, everything we do, it's all just part of some bigger story, and we're just starting to figure it out?
I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of story, honestly.
Yeah.
But okay, let's say, just for fun, that we are in a simulation. Wouldn't there be some clues? Like glitches in the Matrix, right?
I love that you said that because, yeah, the article doesn't say this is definitely true, right? It's more about, hey, open your mind. What if this could be true? And when you start thinking that way, all those weird little things like deja vu or coincidences, maybe they start to mean something more.
So what you're saying is we got to watch out for those glitches.
Exactly.
Keep our eyes peeled.
Like,
I like it. So I guess the big question is, are we just characters in some giant video game? No way to know for sure, right?
right.
But I got to say, this whole deep dive, it's definitely got me thinking differently. I'm going to be looking at the world a little differently now, questioning things,
That's what it's all about, even if we never know the answers. Just asking these questions can change how we see things.
So true. All right, everyone, that's it for this deep dive. But the conversation doesn't have to end here. We want to hear from you. What are the glitches in your reality, those weird moments, those things that just don't add up? Let us know, because maybe, just maybe, they mean something more. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.